Hello, David, and welcome to the Fintech Garden podcast. I'm really pleased that you joined our discussion, and our listeners are pretty interested in your voice. So, hello.
Thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
And the really first question, we are in Kingdom Saudi Arabia. So, what brings you to the conference so distant from United Kingdom?
There's lots of opportunity in the Middle East. There's lots of development here, and I wanted to come and see for myself what's going on. And because Money 2020 is such, it brings together all of the fintechs, all of the banks. It's kind of an easy way of just seeing what's happening.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. And what do you think the fintechs and banks are doing really good this year? Because a lot of developments is happening here in Saudi Arabia, like a Tabi and...
The focus here, which I think is interesting, is the digital banks.
Okay.
And the speed with which the digital banks have grown. I mean, that's very interesting to me. And I think also maybe it has something to do with demographics. It's a young area, smartphone-centric. People want to try new things. They're willing to experiment, not with the established brands, So from that point of view, it has a lot of energy in the show, I think.
Yeah, and what do you think about the MENA region in total? Because we saw a lot of innovations coming from United Kingdom by being powered by the regulators because they dropped and they challenged the local business to innovate. And so it's not the same in Europe. But what do you think about the MENA region?
It's not the same, but the point is there is a lot of innovation. You're just beginning to see it in different directions. So, and I'll give you a simple example, digital assets. So we tend to think about stable coins and things like that. In the region, you see things like the tokenization of land, for example, which I think is a really interesting development, a very interesting experiment. So there are innovations going on here, just in slightly different directions,
Actually, I would like to add, we have clients who digitalized and used the blockchain for the nature. Like they have a project where you're scanning the QR code and putting the coral into the sea. So then you basically see in blockchain how you nurture the nature. And then it can be the second-hand market, like you can buy a specific coral. So yeah, it falls into our experience with the region too. And maybe the last question, like what challenges you think neobanks, digital banks, or regular banks will face in this region this year, or maybe the next one?
I think there are some trust issues. A lot of places in the region, Saudi Arabia is an example, they have quite a well-developed digital identity system, which helps, not just for banks, but there are all sorts of other things. But generally speaking, I think we do need to see more developments in the trust area. And obviously there are some cultural aspects to this which are different in different countries. In the UK, for example, we might be more focused on privacy than in China. I'm not stupid. I realize these are different. So I'm here to learn what's going on in these, not necessarily to copy for other areas, but as useful input.
Yeah, like
it is. But the whole kind of identity and trust thing seems ripe for development to me.
There is a space for that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're Ukrainian?
Yeah, I'm Ukrainian.
So it's a very interesting, I read a lot of detail, the National Bank of Ukraine.
Yeah.
The head of the payment systems branch.
Ministry of Digitalization. Which
he said one of the reasons why Ukraine's infrastructure has been robust under such attack is because they were able to quickly deploy the national digital identity infrastructure. And this helped to then support banking and payments, all those other things. So I see identity as very infrastructural.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm interested in what's going on in these different regions.
Exactly, because one of the pillar topics in Money 2020 in Amsterdam, it was about digital identity.
Of course, yeah.
How we represent itself in the digital world, because you have the cellular network, operators, banks, a lot of, they require your digital identity and verification who you are.
Well, and now it's moving beyond people, because one of the interesting discussions right now, in fact, I'll be talking about it later on the Executive Summit stage, is identity for AIs. It's not just about identity for people anymore or identity for businesses.
Yeah.
Now it's about identities for bots too. So it's a very fascinating area.
Thank you. And we're looking forward to hear your report and speech on the executive summary. So thank you for coming and participating. It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.